Well, hello there. This video is step by step predicting with solar charts. So let's say you already have the progress chart, which means you have a roadmap to your future. If you want to know what or where the destination lies, you will have to go further out than just a start of a new beginning in whatever year that you see as the turning point. In other words, you get there. Now, where are you going to go? Because you already know when something is going to happen in your progress chart. So, what is a turning point? That's when you turn the corner. But where is it taking you? Yes, things may be great that you you've reached the destination point, but which direction do you want to go once you get there? You should be able to take it, whatever it is, to the next level. Do you have something concrete that you can take to the next level? For instance, you want to go to Italy. Where in Italy? There's Milan, Siena, Rome, Florence, and many more places to go in Italy. You will have to do some research and decide where would be a good place for you. You need to examine your chart very carefully. Just because you were able to pinpoint when your next turning point will be doesn't mean you can then sit on your laurels and put your life on an automatic drive or like a self-driving car. That's why it is always best to go further out as you see fit in your progression chart. If you see obstacles, you can plan or strategize accordingly. Life isn't always that easy. To make it easy, you need a compass. So let's get back to the roadmap of your life's journey. Between now and the awaited turning point of your journey, there will be some challenges. Where do these challenges come from? You and whatever your dream will be evolving. If no transiting planets were orbiting your natal chart, your natal planets wouldn't be affected. However, the transiting planets will touch a sore spot now and then as long as you are alive. To ease your mind, take a look at your solar return chart. The solar return charts are yearly, so you do a solar return chart every year. Every year there is a focus in your life, and you will, if you look back, you will see the steps it took. And back then you may not have seen it. That's why it's important to get a solar return chart, and you can see the summation. Excuse me. Before I start, I want you to know that I do not know the medical industry whatsoever. I have always avoided hospitals and doctors. They say, apple a day keeps doctors away. I am not a doctor, nor am I offering medical advice. I am just sharing an astrological experiment, and interpretation. Please do not take this video's content as medical advice. This video is to show how to use solar return charts. Do not self-diagnose yourself using astrology. Astrology is an art of prediction, not a science. If you are ill, you must seek a medical doctor's advice. Earlier, the better. Here is a solar return chart of a person who suddenly got ill one day. This person was aware of this moment about even 5 or 6 years ago, but things were moving along so nicely that the person forgot about it. That's why I said, don't sit on your laurels complacently. When this illness hit, the person remembered the solar return chart. The person realizes it's too late to relocate. The person was unable to walk properly. As the disease progressed and medicine was somewhat keeping the illness from advancing, this person was able to take steps using a cane. The person became anemic and lost weight almost to skin and bones. 5 degrees Capricorn ascendant. Pluto in 29 Capricorn, excuse me, in the first house is void. So it's not doing anything. It is at the end of the road and about to make a change. The person is in a complicated situation concerning bone structure. Saturn is in a late degree of the sign it rules. In Aquarius, it would likely be the circulatory and immune function. The person is losing weight. It is combust, although the sun is separating. I'm talking about Saturn. Saturn is combust because it's too close to the sun. The person is worried about money and the immediate future in the second house. However, the 8th ruler is the sun, and it's somehow mitigated. Whatever Saturn does, or what does Saturn do? It decreases or depletes and burns the money by being combust. That's what combust is, burning, unable to do anything. The person cannot work, but there are expenses. This is sudden as it is in the sign of Aquarius, in Uranus square Mercury, confirming the sudden unexpected break or separation from money. Mercury, however, is exalted and trines Mars, which rules the 4th house, the home. Mercury rules 6th and 9th, so insurance is there to cover health. The highest house is the 9th, not the 10th, which indicates not working and concerned about insurance in the future. Notice that all the planets are below the horizon. Horizon means below, and above the horizon, above, out there and about in the world. The doctor recommended a very strong drug that was approved by the insurance company. Venus went retrograde in the summer of 2023, and the person already knew what had to be done. Think about it this way. The illness is not the doctor's problem. It's more likely your problem. Then you should take full responsibility and solve the problem. That means doing a lot of research, which this person did. And of course, with Venus retrograde, the person knew it was not the time to start a new drug. The person looked at the natal chart and the solar return chart. Uranus in the 6th house of the natal chart. Uranus rules incurable disease, and it is transiting the 6th. The health. When Uranus is in Taurus, it can wreak havoc. If it aspects you in a wrong way. It's all about the aspects. Uranus is the food sign of Uranus is in the food sign of the sign Taurus, because Taurus rules food, comfort, among other things like money. But this is about the 6th house and the food, because that's what 6th house rules. And this is in the person's natal chart. So, however, Jupiter is approaching Uranus, and they are sextiling Saturn and Neptune soon. And I don't want to confuse anybody, but when I say this is in the natal, in other words, the transit of Uranus and Jupiter is taking place in the 6th house, the transits. So it is affecting the person's health. The person turns to the solar return chart of 2024 and sees Aries rising with Mars in the 10th and Jupiter in the 1st house and rejoices. That means the person is going to recover and with a robust energy focused on the career, because the Mars is in the 10th house. Jupiter is also in the sign of Taurus, the food and comfort. Jupiter, being the higher benefic, saves in the angles, the first house. The malefics are in good aspect, bringing an opportunity to escape this condition because Uranus is only transiting. Transiting the sixth house of the natal chart. When you think hard enough, your mind attracts what you're looking for. The person goes on the AIP diet and eliminates food that is irritating the system. Even though the doctor said that this is a major disease and cannot be cured by diet, in 5 months, this person is walking without a cane. The doctor was very surprised to see the person walking around without a cane. When the doctor received the blood test, he wrote a letter to this person to report that there had been a significant improvement. The doctor tried very hard to convince the person to take the strong drug because the disease was advanced, but the person was too afraid of the side effects. The person knew that the 2024 solar return chart couldn't be wrong because it had indicated this condition already years ago. And it's happening in 2023. Doctors want their patients to recover. The doctor has his medical knowledge, experience, and beliefs in his practice, just like some of us who believe what they know is the best solution. The person continued with the doctor because the doctor was doing his best to help the patient. The two doctors, the primary and the specialist, played a vital role in the person's recovery. The primary doctor leaned more toward the diet, but the specialist wanted to put the disease into remission fast. Doctors don't like to see their patients in pain. This person was in pain, and that is why the specialist wanted to use a drug that would eradicate the pain. The doctors are ruled by the moon and Mars, and they moved relatively quickly. Moon sextiles Mars in the 6th. Exactly, notice their degrees. Exactly, I think it was 16 is 16 degrees. And with the benefics there in the 3rd house, the mind finds solace. Neptune there in the 3rd house confirms this. Neptune confuses by making matters unreal or surreal, but basically in this case it's none. The mind is given to escapism. All that the planets below the horizon confirm the person will not be out and about. See, all the planets are below the horizon, indicating that the person is not really seen by others. It's going to be a year of seclusion. And if you already know that, it doesn't matter. You already feel it. This is when a solar return chart can be useful. It just gives more insight and assists in picking the options one is faced with when making a decision. It's just part of research. I always like to know the facts up front, have the doctors lay out the options, and ask a lot of questions. Then decide on the plan of action. The solar return chart gives you an overview of what to expect each year. Had the person paid close attention to the yearly prediction that a solar return showed, the person would have relocated to circumvent the situation. Don't just go with the flow and get off the road you should be taking. However, many of us do foolish things when lost engrossed in fun things, or sidetracked for whatever reason.